Welcome to the first episode of the Visionary Sanctum podcast. Boom, 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 boom. Eventually, we'll get a soundboard, but welcome. Come have a seat. Let's talk. Let's get comfortable. Let's get to know each other. So, first, I want to talk about what is Visionary Sanctum. To me, Visionary Sanctum it's a sacred place, a personal, private, sacred place where you go to thrive. It exists within you, and it also reflects outside of you. Your home, how you dress, how you live in, maybe your job, maybe what you like to do creatively, but it's a personal space for you, and it's something special that you build, that you maintain, that you take care of every single day. And that's what Visionary Sanctum is to me. Throughout the course of this podcast development, if you will, I'll be talking about how I've built my sanctum, hoping to inspire others as well as others coming in to share their stories and inspire me. We can all connect together. Visionary sanctum about. I can only answer that by explaining a little bit of my creative history. I feel like growing up, I've always had this very multi hyphenate way of being, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. But I was one of those multi hyphenate people that didn't commit. Um, I did karate, then I quit. I did dancing, then I quit. I'm painting, then I quit. I'm crafting, then I quit. I crochet, then I quit. And once I became an adult, I was like, I really want to live my life the way I want to live it. And I love being creative, but at the very least, I owe it to myself to stick to something. So I started off with social media. I'm thinking content creation is the wave. I was on it pretty consistently, and then I stopped. I stopped because I wasn't feeling inspired. I realized what I do, where I spend majority of my day, definitely affects how creative I can be. That job I was at, spending 40 hours a week, I absolutely fucking hated it. I hated what you call microaggressions, but they just felt like aggressions, if we're being real. And it was killing my spirit. It was ruining my self-esteem. And it's hard to pull from a creative place when you just feel like there's an attack on your spirit, if you will. So eventually I tried it again, picked it up, dropped it, and I decided I wanted different for myself and I'm going to move to a new city. So I moved from Minneapolis to Chicago in September of 2023 and I became a licensed realtor. I wanted to do something where I felt flexible. And while started working on my license, didn't quite have a job yet, I began to feel more inspired. I realized autonomy over my time was incredibly important to me. And that autonomy allowed for a bit of creativity to flow through. So I started doing a little bit of the content again. And then I started crocheting again and recording that and did a lot of self discovery. That was consistent for a bit. Of course, we dropped it once more and started getting a bit more into real estate, thinking about how can I apply my creativity to being a realtor. I ended up leaving the brokerage I was at for a new one, and then boom, we're in 2025. Dun, dun, dun. And this new brokerage completely helped me to rediscover what I really wanted to do, and it helped me reframe my perspective about my business. This place has lots of people. This is like a big full service brokerage. And at this brokerage, there's people truly following their dreams and living a life that they want to live. And it made me think of business as place, sanctum, perhaps a canvas of my own. And I should only be doing business if I really loved it. Before I was just chasing transactions, chasing business opportunities, and it was a constant grind, but I wasn't really happy. And listening to others made me take a step back and want to create something for myself, create a personal brand, just how important that is. And when you create a personal brand as a foundation, so much more can grow from said brand. And I was hearing from other brokers, they only did business with people that they really liked. Now, in business, there's no way to escape doing business with people you don't like. But in terms of clientele, having a bit more of a rapport before you begin that relationship as opposed to a cold lead is very important and it changes your experience. You just wake up every day loving doing what you like to do. the other piece to that is you become a master at relationships. And I thought this is a great thing that I can apply to life and being great at going outside, connecting with people, and building relationships. It's something I want to do for myself because it feeds my soul and not what the sole purpose of business. It's like abundance comes out of life when you're living life in the way that you want to. And I said, "Ooh, I think we need to go back to the drawing board." So I was thinking about personal brand and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to reshape some things. And I had created an Instagram page that was just for real estate. That Instagram is no longer with us, RIP. I decided to completely start over on my personal Instagram. So I have a new one. I wanted only Chicago connections, and I was going to go outside and put myself out there. So I did. In March, I started going to events. I'm gonna say between March and we're almost at June 1st, so just round up. I've gone to like 35 events. I've met so many amazing people. I'm going to continue to do that throughout the year. It's something that I enjoy. I really enjoy small, intimate spaces. I found some spaces that I can go to on a regular basis and continue to build and grow those. And I'm just overall happier as a person. And within this exploration, I've met a lot of creatives and I started noticing every time I meet someone, if you are creative or if you have a business, whether you're a realtor, whatever, people always ask for your Instagram. Your Instagram is like your business page. It is a creative display, but it's also a snapshot into who you are as a person. So I said, not only am I going to start over, but I'm going to get active on this thing. And I also found that when people ask me what I did, I would say I'm a realtor, but I'm in a room full of creatives. So question is, well, what do you do creatively? Are you an artist? Are you a writer? Do you paint? Are you a photographer? And I mean, now, now, if we go back to that multi-hyphenate thing, I've been all over the place, but I haven't been consistent in one thing. And I thought, not only do I need to tell my story on social media, I need to have a place where I put my craft, where I become consistent, where I grow, where I achieve a level of self-mastery, if you will. And I need to put it all out there and be consistent about it. So I told my story and I started strategizing behind the scenes. What can I do? What is this concept? So the first one I came up with was seeking authenticity. She never made it off the ground. And then the second one, after I started reading the book The Artist Way, I was like, no, I need something more audacious. And that's what I did. I went with more audacious and we came up with Visionary Sanctum. I wanted something that described a place where I could create, a place that was personal and private and sacred to me. But it's going to be on display for others because, I'm deciding to share it. But I wanted people to know that they were peering into something intimate, into something special. And I thought sanctuary, too big, too cliche. I was like, I could use the word space. And I thought Angelica's playground. But I'm like, I like to play, but what if I'm not playing around? And then came the word sanctum. So sanctum, it alludes to first privacy and sacred. So I thought, oh, visionary sanctum, because I see myself as a visionary, and this is where I live, and this is where I am, and I can be versatile in this space. I can display my creativity. I can display my business and my drive as an entrepreneur or a creative entrepreneur, if you will. And as I continue to meet more people, I no longer have to go, like, what do I do? It's giving, well, I'm a realtor, I'm a creative entrepreneur, I'm a creative in general, and here's my Instagram. And they can follow the story, they can follow the Substack, they can listen to this podcast, and here it is. It's proof of what I do and a display of who I am. It's vulnerable, but it's something that I'm ready for. And here we are together. Um, I've been attracted to Substack in specific. I like the fact that it's so versatile. I like the people on here. I like what long form content can do. While I'm going to continue to be consistent on Instagram, it is a short form platform and it only rewards that short form, that kind of instant gratification, dopamine kind of thing. Very quick, 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 quick. And Angelica, as you can tell, she's a little long winded. Okay. She's a little long winded for Instagram. So, still a place for me to display what I do, but I want to really, really go into it here. I also like the writing aspect, which is the biggest aspect about Substack. And Somebody told me you should really get into writing. I'm like, girl, wait, like me, a writer? What? And nobody had to say I had to be an advanced writer. So here we are. You'll be seeing me write a bit. And I write every day. I journal a lot. It is something I do often. It's just not something that I have decided to share with the public. So we're going to get into that as well. And as this continues to grow, as I continue to be consistent with this body of work that I'm creating, my intention is to expand and grow community. And I'm very, very, very excited to expand and grow with you all. This sounds like something you'd be interested in the future as we talk about building our visionary sanctums together. Stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. We'll be back again next week. Bye.